This is your Weather Xtreme video for Friday, June the 27th, TGIF. There's a look at the surface pattern this morning, and high pressure is centered over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, but the big news really has been and continues to be a weak disturbance in the upper atmosphere, generally over the lower Mississippi River Valley, essentially over the Lake Charles area. And that brought us a number of showers and thunderstorms yesterday, including a flash flood warning for part of north central Alabama, thanks to the slow movement and heavy rains associated with some of these thunderstorms. Temperatures across the area once again starting the day out fairly uniformly in the lower 70s, a few spots getting into the upper 60s as temperatures are fairly uniform over the area. The current radar suggests that another disturbance will be coming out of that weakness over southern Louisiana. That area of showers and thunderstorms is moving to the northeast, and that should bring, once again, varied rains due to the nature of showers. But some spots could receive anywhere from as little as a tenth of an inch to maybe as much as an inch in precipitation. The main severe weather threat continues to be off to our northwest over the what I would call the Central Plains states, from the Dakotas down to the Texas Panhandle. That area shifts slightly further to the east on day 2, Saturday, and then on day 3, it kind of more or less stays put in the north central part of the United States. Tropics remain quiet. The Atlantic especially is quiet. There's a little bit of disturbed cloudiness over the Gulf, the western Gulf, associated with this weakness that we've been influenced by. And then there's an elongated area of cloudiness that could develop into something next week out in the Pacific. All right, let's take a look at modeling. And there's the GFS, and there's that weakness we've been seeing over the lower Mississippi River Valley for the last several days. And it looks like it will once again influence our weather today and should bring a pretty good chance for showers and thunderstorms, I think, to the area. Radar not nearly as showing as much this morning over Alabama, but I think that the area will be ejecting out to the northeast, and that should bring us some good rains over a fairly widespread area, numerous showers, and precipitable water values are definitely up. The little weakness finally is urged out of the area, kind of ejecting out to the northeast on Saturday with that little trough coming in over the Dakotas. And, of course, that trough is the one responsible for a lot of the threat of severe weather up in the north central United States. Precipitable water values do drop back just a little bit now, especially over Alabama. So while that disturbance moves out and the precipitable water values do stay up, I think that the showers will be a little less numerous on Saturday. And then when we get out to Sunday, we can see that that disturbance is basically gone as the ridge is growing up the east coast. And that should, once again, with high pressure centered over just the area in the vicinity of Mobile, that should suppress showers. And we still can't rule out the possibility of some scattered showers, some isolated showers perhaps. And that's the pattern for the rest of much of the rest of the coming week. For Monday, we see the ridge in place, and Tuesday the ridge gets a little bit stronger with the westerlies flowing across the northern part of the United States and southern Canada. We do see that trough on the 2nd of July seems to be strengthening a little bit as it moves across the Great Lakes, and that suggests the possibility that we'll see a front coming into our area. Now, fronts in July are pretty rare. Yes, we do get them. They're not completely unusual, but interesting that the GFS is suggesting the approach of a front on the 2nd coming down into, let's just say, the Tennessee River Valley or the area of the state of Tennessee. But the European, interestingly enough, and not nearly as bullish on the precipitation, suggesting perhaps that the front will wash out. And kind of like the idea of fronts washing out, that's what happens this time of year. That trough over the Great Lakes on Thursday moves on quickly into the eastern Great Lakes, and so the GFS now suggesting the front will also wash out, but that means that we'll stay with a moist atmosphere and we'll stay with some scattered showers as a possibility. The 594 heat bubble develops over the Four Corners area on Friday, a week from today, and that certainly would keep relatively good weather with only just isolated showers in our forecast. Now, moving out into the voodoo country, interesting that the GFS is suggesting a pretty substantial trough. This trough certainly would look like it's powerful enough and deep enough to bring a front all the way down to the Gulf Coast. However, again, in July, it's not something that you see a lot of. And then when we get out to the very end of the period, around the 12th, we see that what's back? The ridge is back, and warm weather, hot weather even, for July. That'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. We'll have the next one posted first thing on Saturday morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great Friday, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.